All right, this is just a quick, like, off-the-cuff video because gold, gold is gold has become the asset. So, what's the backdrop? We're 21st of April. So for some, this is Easter Monday, and gold is like gapped higher again on the open. So, what's going on? Okay, backdrop is we'll look at the chart in 1 second. That this whole audit Fort Knox thing, there were stories of London gold being shipped on all the flights to the US because it's selling at a higher price in the US. There was stories of gold leaving London and going to the US because of potential tariffs. Whether that actually meant it changed hands or not, I do not know. And there's so many like conspiracy theories on this whole thing. China is allegedly buying physical gold. Loads of countries, I believe, are also buying gold. And the GLD, the main ETF for gold, is significantly higher. And there's a lot of people that have been shorting gold. So you're probably wondering, like when an asset starts going parabolic, what should I do now? So let's have a quick look at the chart and try and make an assessment. So this is GLD, the main ETF for gold. There are other ways to look at the price, but this is the kind of main way. Started back in 2005, so it's not a load of history. You can get much better history than this. But as we've touched on gold before in other videos, it had this move up until 2011, and then literally it went nowhere. Well, it went from 180 to 100, so down significantly, and it didn't reach new highs again until 2020, and then again languished as it does until March 2024, when we saw some new all-time highs. And then since then, this is a weekly, each bar is 1 week. And then we've just seen this growth, or this increase in the stock price, in the price of gold. So from March, what's this telling us? Well, people buy this when there is uncertainty. So with Trump, there's a lot of uncertainty because you do not know what he's going to do next. And naturally, people pile into gold. It's uncertain times. I'm just wondering, so from 2016 to 2020 was his last time in office, and it didn't go up that great, from 103 to 144. Well, that's reasonable, isn't it? But it's not what we're seeing now. So there's talk of people dumping US treasuries because they've lost faith in America, or not even lost faith, just like we are not investing in America anymore because these tariffs, this administration, just like they're sticking the finger up basically, and they're going, you know what, we'll just sit on gold. And on the backdrop of gold is, I don't like my chart for Bitcoin, I do apologize. Actually, we can do it via the market cap version. So for Bitcoin, I'm just going to delete this box because it serves no purpose, and we're going to delete that line. Here's Bitcoin. It has held up very well, but you'll notice if Bitcoin is meant to be digital gold, well, it ain't. It ain't. So what's going to happen? Should you buy? That's what you want. That's what you want to know, isn't it? Should you buy gold here? And I've got one interesting chart to show you. So this is gold. Now, as that stands, we've gone 190 to 315 today. Yeah, it can go higher. Absolutely. It can also go lower. I don't think, because when you're at all-time highs, it's impossible to know where price is going to go to. Some people will draw on fibs and try and get there's some kind of like fib projection, but I think they're about as useful as a chocolate teapot. One way to look at this is over on totalreturns.com. You can stick in GLD, and you can have nominal dollars, which is what you're seeing with this version, but you can also have it adjusted for inflation. And when you do that, something really interesting happens. So here's our gold chart from the beginning of that ETF, the same timeline, so 2005. Now, look at that peak around 2011. With inflation, or CPI, you get these two peaks here and here. And in real terms, gold is only just a smidge above. So looking at this chart, you're not that far off the previous two peaks, and you could say, well, there's loads more room to go in a kind of, is this nuts or is there room to go? And this chart to me suggests actually in real terms, gold could do what it did between 05 and 2011. We might just get a rip roaring rally because it's so significantly well, it depends how you look at it. So if you put in the S&P just as a comparison, it's a horrible chart just because of how where it started. So the SPY is the blue one. So we had that big crash in 08, and gold did much better during that time. So we had this big separation. But if you were to start your chart from 2011, gold would be significantly behind S&P in terms of performance. So you've always got to be careful when you start these charts. Anyway, that was just to show you that. But gold on an inflation adjusted basis, I think it's quite compelling. It's gone to new all-time highs, and it's going to want to see where it can get to. So it's really, when this is then, so if we're now back on the non-inflation adjusted. So it's that peak there. If I get rid of this add, that peak there in 11. So that one ties up with this one, inflation adjusted. So isn't that interesting? And it's only just kind of broken out when you adjust it for inflation. So you know what? If you're a momentum trader, apart from buying that high there, your 256 to 315, I'm already long gold, so it doesn't. I'm having to do this from I'm trying to do it from a unbiased position, but it looks like there's room to go. But it's up to you. That's my biggest thing that I noticed was that inflation adjusted price that I thought was very interesting. Some people will also stick on this relative to silver, so you can just whack on SLV, and silver's kind of the ugly sister. It generally underperforms, and that's what it's doing now because they're very different assets. So if you think that Trump is going to continue rocking the boat, making everyone anti-American, I don't think America quite realizes how he's making rest of world anti-American. That's the feeling I'm getting, like putting out my antennas on the X, on YouTube, on that there's this all the other leaders getting together. There's this anti-US vibe going on, and they're more than happy, it would seem right now, to be buying gold, especially China. China's probably dumping its treasuries and just piling into gold. It's a conspiracy theory, I think, that's what's happening. Although, well, it's not a conspiracy. They are slowly reducing their treasury count, probably more now than ever before and in a quicker rate than ever before. And I'm sure if they're thinking about what to buy, along with many other things, euro, yen, all the other currencies around the world, they will be buying gold. Just because you'd have it's not like they're only buying gold, but it will be probably one of the more aggressive things they're buying. So whether it will continue or not, absolutely no idea. If Trump comes out tomorrow, he's currently acting like a dictator. Totally not, I think, what people signed up for. I should stop talking immediately because my opinion is worthless. But depending on your thoughts, if he continues in this vein, I'm thinking gold's going higher. If he backtracks on all the tariffs, gold will drop like 100. You'll see a significant drop if the tariff thing is resolved. So you're really playing, it's a bit of a gamble, this one. So just be really careful if you do get involved with gold, both on the long side and on the short side. There might just be a forever squeeze to the upside. And on the short side, on the long side, if Trump rolls on the tariffs, well, this thing is gonna shank, isn't it? So anyway, Might be thought-provoking. I'm sure you've spotted it. I'm sure you're considering your options. Interesting on that CPI adjusted version of gold. Good luck out there. That's it.